Well, we're here in the MDI TV studio, and I never knew there was a TV studio here at MDI High School.
Yeah.
I've got Jeff Zamans here, and this is our latest installment of Meet a Teacher at MDI High School. So, Jeff, what is your official title here at MDI High School?
My official title is filmmaking instructor and television film resource.
Okay, and you say that when we're talking a little bit prior to this, you kind of work with the students as well as the faculty as well.
I actually have kind of two different balls that I juggle. I've got where I teach the filmmaking class. I co-teach that with Charlie Johnson. And then at the same time I spend the second half of my day working as a resource for the school overall. I help the students a lot when they're doing film work or if they have an idea for a film or something like that. And then I also work a lot with the teachers who come to me and have a project they may want to do in class where they want the kids to make a film, so I'll come in sometimes and do a once-over of either iMovie or some things with different cameras and whatnot to try and up the kind of films that they're making and just make them a little bit cleaner and stuff like that. And I've recently mentioned to all the teachers, I actually sent an email out where I'm going to start doing more of a, I call it a classroom look-in, where I'll go in and videotape a class when they're doing something special in the class or whatever. That way what we can do is run it here through the TV station. I'll also have it online through YouTube and some of our other avenues. We use live stream, and we actually stream live video out of here as well sometimes. So.
All right, and you said this is the backdrop for morning announcements.
For our morning announcements.
And I was teasing with Jenny up in the office because she said, well, that's where they do the morning announcements. And I said, what, you don't have the xylophone or out of like Grease where the ding, ding, ding? And she said, oh, that would be great, but I don't know how many students would get it. One morning you're going to have to do that down here.
Right. What's interesting is 4 years ago when I first came here, just even as a volunteer, that's how they did morning announcements. They opened the phone and they would hold an earbud up to play a little bit of music and then just pass the phone around out of the principal's office. And I thought to myself, I said, well, we have a TV studio.
Who knew?
So I initially started, I mean, we've luckily been able to upgrade some of the stuff or whatnot, but you know, I originally started with just a couple little handheld cameras and some equipment I was able to find off eBay really cheap. And we started broadcasting on Channel 5 here on the island. And so immediately we were, you know, videotaping it. It still airs over our speakers, the old-fashioned way,
right,
so to speak. But then at the same time, they can watch it on some of the TVs in the school, and also they do watch it live streaming. So, you know, you can be on vacation in Florida and watch the morning announcements at MDI High School.
I'll have to pay attention, see what's going on. Now, you are an accomplished filmmaker, TV in the industry. Some of the things that you've worked on, you were on the assistant editor of the movie Great White Hype, which I mean I love that show, and I saw it, and I mean it's on HBO occasionally, and it's a great show. Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. I was an assistant on a visual effects sequence that we had done.
Okay.
That was my forte, was visual effects that I got into.
Well, you're not going to want to watch this after we've got that up. You also were on worked on the movie Scorpion King.
I did, yeah.
And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I did a few shots on that as well, yes.
Which, I mean, anytime that's on, my clicker stops and I watch that. My wife keeps going, oh my God, have you seen that enough times? But that's good. It's the royalties are rolling in for you.
Well, oh yeah, they really are.
And then you've worked on TV shows. You've been on Smallville, Team America, Star Trek, and you won a Primetime Emmy.
For the X-Files, yeah. Yeah.
And Mark,
that was a pretty great moment, actually. That was a lot
Mark
of fun.
Shields said, yeah, ask him, it's kind of like the Kramer's Emmy, but no, this is a real Emmy. I mean, you...
Yeah, we were at, it was a Creative Arts, so they have it the week before the one that you see with all the movie stars, but there were still a number of stars there, and we got to go and walk the red carpet with, you know, Holly Berry was there as we walked in.
That's
and
awesome.
Sat in the audience, and they called my name, and I went up on stage with our group, our visual effects group. And,
well, I mean, Matt Haney says, "Oh yeah, why don't you do an interview with Jeff Zamans?" And oh, by the way, he's won a primetime Emmy, and I'm like, "Yeah, right. He's going to want to be on a WDEA YouTube video."
Sure.
All right. So the question is, you've done all that. What are you doing in Bar Harbor?
Well, as I was telling you a little bit earlier, the Hollywood entertainment industry is it's a fantastic industry to work in when you're in your mid to late 20s and you're single.
Yeah.
It's not really, I didn't feel it was very good for, very family conducive. And so once I had a family and I had time, there were lots of chunks of time that I was away from my family, I really decided that it was not really the direction I wanted to keep going. I loved the work, but you know, the excitement of Hollywood kind of wears off a little bit. And so I was ready to get out of the industry. I was also ready to get out of the big city. I grew up in southern Maryland, kind of rural. So we had actually taken a vacation here to Bar Harbor before and fell in love with it. Had a rental house here. And when all that was happening, and by the time we got everything done with the rental house, we just had fallen in love with the town and decided to go ahead and move here. And just kind of packed it all up. And
wow.
Pretty naive when we did it, actually. But
And how many years ago was that?
That was, we're almost right at 10 years ago now.
Wow.
And then for the first 4 years or so, I was a stay-home dad.
Very cool. What does your wife do?
Opportunity. She's a rental agent.
Okay.
So she helps people find, rental homes and everything on the island. And then once my son was old enough, I thought, okay, well, I should try and figure out something to do. There's not a lot of visual effects work here on Mount Desert Island. And I had volunteered with a guy that was running the video class here at the time, Galen Lau. And he kind of showed me around, and I came in for about a week and a half working with the kids and realized that I really liked working with the kids and showing them stuff, and the fact that how quickly they could catch on to some of the stuff we were doing. And we did some After Effects shots with them and whatnot, and it was a lot of fun. And at that point I started kind of the ball rolling. I had no inkling before that of teaching.
Right.
Didn't even occur to me that that would be something that I would do, but it's been a lot of fun being able to pass down some of the stuff that I've done and some of my knowledge and stuff like that, and the kids are really coming along well.
Well, this generation's grown up on YouTube now and things of that sort, and you said that, well, they all have, everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has the capability now of making a movie.
Exactly. They got a video camera right in their back pocket all the time.
Right.
So,
unlike when my kids were growing up and we had a VHS recorder that literally I had to take all the video because it was so heavy it would sit on your shoulder, and now we have a small little camera, and GoPros are $149 and
I know. And they take better quality video than ours ever did.
Exactly. Exactly. So you also mentioned that you're doing this Acadia project. Tell us about the Acadia project.
Well, Acadia National Park came to us about just over 2 years ago now.
And us being the school.
Us being the school, okay. Yeah. And they had this idea to follow the class of 2016 for the 100 years, when Acadia National Park will turn 100 years old in 2016. And we were all on board, thought it was a great project, and then of course the sequester hit, the government shutdown hit.
Yeah.
All the money dried up, and everything kind of went on the back burner.
2016, they all had to graduate in 2017. Then,
exactly.
Basically, right.
So, so about almost a year ago now, when they came to us again and said, we really don't have much budget, but we still really want to do this. Especially me, Charlie and I, Charlie I teach the class with, said, we'll do it. We'll come up with something. We'll get the kids together. We just thought it was too valuable of an idea for a couple different reasons. I think that it's great project-based learning for kids. We're going to take 2 years to make this film. We're teaching the class in quarter segments. So a kid may come in early now. For instance, now we're still working on our storylines. Eventually, maybe next quarter, we'll get our scripts in order and whatnot. So we're going through the whole filmmaking process. And kids can jump in and jump out and jump back in and take just the quarters that they're interested in. We'll move along. We'll get to where we're doing the production. Then we'll end up doing post-production, the editing and sound editing, eventually scoring the movie. So they'll have all these different, right now we're doing writing in the class. So yes, it's a filmmaking class, but they're writing and they're doing all these different disciplines all in one class. And I think that on top of of course, it's great for the school to make a movie about Acadia National Park. Really, the twofold of that, the fact that it's a really great model for, how different ways you can teach kids, and they're really enjoying it. So.
Oh, I would think. I mean, it's a whole new discipline, and I mean, at the radio station we work closely with NESCOM, and now that's part of Huston University, and
right.
I mean, there people that go in there now are just, they're amazing, and you're giving people what they normally would get at HCTC, that filmmaking. It's being done right here at MDI High School.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I had the length of blocks they have at HCTC, because that's our biggest challenge is,
Right.
to gather all your gear together to get out and do a shoot. But, we're working around that. The kids are dedicated enough. We're doing, a lot of them are coming to me to do stuff out of school on weekends. I have a number of kids that are very interested in the class and the film that couldn't fit it in their schedule. So they're shooting stuff as well on their own.
Wow. That,
we're going over, and giving them some direction on what we're looking to have done. And they're going out and shooting like some time-lapse footage or whatever. So we have the class that's creating the film, but really the whole school is creating the film, not just kids that could fit it into their schedule to sign up for the class. So. And
where is this going to? This is then going to be given to Acadia National Park, or how is it? How are people going to be able to see this? Well, it will go. We'll obviously have rights to it as well. We will give it to Acadia National Park. They're talking about airing it through their venues, whether it's at the visitor center. Some of the stuff they broadcast as well. Our ultimate aim is to get it airing quality, so that it. Yeah. We're looking to get PBS. Wow. Get it onto PBS. So, we'll have to see how things come together and how things shape up. We are working with students, but they're doing a great job so far, and I really think that we can get there. That's fantastic. So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to have something that the students from the school created airing on national TV. Oh, yeah. That's fantastic. So I mean, what a learning opportunity for them to say, yeah, I had a part, or I helped write the script, or I helped shoot that little part right there, or I was in post-production. And that's in itself is a whole different world. Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you start trying to meld together different shots, and I mean, my basic post-production of this video is Adobe Photoshop 12, I think, and just trying to get titles, and I mean, I got to come talk to you afterwards and get a lesson in that, but it's, I mean, what you're giving these kids is something that they can use lifelong, whether it's just shooting their own, I mean, now. Exactly. Well, they come into the school having already made videos at the middle school level. Wow. So, and that's another big thing why the resource half of my job, I think, is so important, because I saw a lot of these kids making films, and some of them are spectacular, and some of them are, they just grab a camera or the camera off their laptop and shoot some stuff and put it together and make a little video. And I thought, with a little bit of instruction, they could make these videos so much better quality. They just didn't really have the instruction of when to shoot, what angles and what sizes and what how to deal with my audio and all that kind of stuff. That even if somebody jumps in the filmmaking course for that 1 quarter, we go over kind of everything in the process in that class. It makes it a complicated class to teach. Do you do an adult ed class? We do not right now, but it's definitely something worth looking into. Yeah, I mean, and I know that you say that you work with the teachers. I mean, when you have teachers that are from first year to veteran teachers, I mean, their whole use of film and video really runs the entire gamut. I mean, my wife, who's taught for 28 years, I mean, she doesn't use video, but that's because no one's taught her how to do it. Yeah, and the thing that's also great right now is that they have access to it so easily. I mean, all of the kids here at the high school get a laptop. Every laptop has iMovie in it. So, and every time, I still have a love-hate relationship with iMovie, but it's, it comes on the laptop. So every reiteration of it that comes out gets a little bit better and a little bit better. And the stuff that the kids have the access to do is pretty amazing in this day and age. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's a great little editor.
You can get in and they're adding titles and music and sound effects and, you know, all right there on their laptops that they're carting around everywhere they go. So it's really fantastic to be able to get them to use those and use them all the right way. So
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, so the question I have to ask you, and I know you've probably seen this, so I've told everybody about your Primetime Emmy. What's the one thing that no one knows about you that you're willing to confess to right here?
That no one knows about me.
Or not many people know about you.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of the stories from my previous life that I call it. Some of them I probably shouldn't share right here.
Well, share one that you can.
But there's one that I will share that was actually quite funny. I was, it was right, I think I was still in college, and I was a film production major.
And where did you go to college?
I went to California State University at Northridge.
Okay.
And through one of my classes, somebody had called and said, they're looking for people to be in a movie. And I said, sure, and I went with a couple of my friends. And we showed up, and it was a very, very low-budget film.
Okay.
And we showed up, and they put us in police uniforms and basically gave us a few directions and said, okay, go. We're going. We're making this film. And me and three of my friends were police officers in this film called Misfit Patrol.
Okay.
That we got to go around, and what was nice, it was low budget enough that they let us improvise scenes.
Wow.
We didn't really have any speaking lines. We had a couple, but we just kind of grabbed it and went with it and did all kinds of over-the-top stuff, and the director thought it was great, and so, you know, that was my acting.
Misfit Patrol.
My one and only acting.
So look it up on YouTube. Maybe you'll see it.
Oh, please don't, actually. But it's a fun little film, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look and see if I can find it. That's great. Anything you want to add?
I mean, just again, what's great about making these films with the kids is that we're giving them a skill that they'll continue to use. I mean, it's not going away. They're doing it in middle school on their iPads. And it's something that, whether they do it on a professional level or if they go into a profession that's very different, that's how people are displaying what they do now. They're using film and video. And it's really a vital part. When you get out of the school, if you can make a solid video that really gets your point across, I mean, that goes a long way, whether you're going into business or almost any profession nowadays. You're doing some kind of presentation, and video is really becoming part of that presentation. So
that's why we're doing this video right
here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem.
That's
it was a pleasure.
That's this week, meeting an MDI teacher. Again, this is Jeff Zamans here at MDI High School. Thank you for watching it on the WDEA YouTube channel. I hope you'll check some of the other videos that we have published on our channel as well. Thank you.